I often get asked, how did you become so lean and muscular? Working out just 2 to 3 days a week, under 30 minutes a day. In other words, how did I achieve more results in just a fraction of the time most guys spend in the gym? In this video, I'm gonna show you everything you need to know to build an attractive body without spending hours in the gym, as well as the biggest mistake even advanced lifters make, training for aesthetics. But first, what is aesthetics? Left or right? What about this one? In other words, aesthetics is how you define it. But here's a simple yet effective hack for faster results than 99% of guys in the gym. And it's like cheating. And it works whether you lift weights or do calisthenics, even if you're just starting out in the gym. So what is this hack? How does it work? What makes it so effective? Typically for each exercise, you'll do a total of 3 to 6 sets, with around 3 minutes rest between each one. And depending on how many sets you do, that could mean hours in the gym, which is probably not what you're after. Rather than sitting around like you've been told you can't play without a hat, you do what's called Myor Reps. And this is game changing according to science. Because this way you get to the more effective reps sooner. Say you've just finished bicep curls and next is bench press. But before you move on, rest 4 to 10 seconds and then do as many reps as possible while keeping good form. That's 1 mini set. Now repeat this for a total of up to 3 mini sets. Doing this for every exercise so that you'll squeeze out as much juice as possible without letting it go to waste, resulting in more gains in a shorter period of time. But there's a catch. Myor Reps won't work every time. Because if you've maxed out on shoulder press, for example, it ain't gonna move. There are other alternatives which are just as effective, if not more, which I'll talk about in a future video. But wait, knowing what to do is just as important as knowing what not to do. Because without knowing what I'm about to tell you, you risk being stuck in this endless cycle of first day back in the gym. Here's a fail-proof way to completely transform your body this year. Theoretically. Step 1, set a date for this goal. Step 2, plan your workouts. Step 3, take action and be consistent. That's the fastest way to get results, burn out, and become a complete vegetable. And I found out the hard way. I'll explain. Most guys starting out in the gym adopt what I call the block workout method. This is where most guys, including myself, get it completely wrong. For the last 10 years, I was a big believer in routines, both in the gym and in my personal life, because I'd planned the perfect gym week. And I thought if I made 1% improvements every week, eventually I would get a bigger chest than Kim K. And the more I tried not to miss a workout, the worse off I became. But I never realized this could all be fixed with one simple solution. Like, what if we removed the 7-day barrier? What if we stopped seeing our lives in terms of weeks and years, but rather a constant flow of days between now and the day we die? How much more freeing would that be for you? Like if you couldn't work out on Friday, then Saturday. If not Saturday, then Sunday. This way your workout program continues rolling. If not today, then tomorrow. And it's why I named it the rolling workout method, working out on a when you can basis. And this can even be applied to other goals in other areas of your life. But are results guaranteed? Of course not. So what can you expect when you go from 4 to 6 days a week to now 2 to 3 days? And what about doing less volume? Will I still see results? 3 things. Number 1, less volume, more gains. Meaning you'll still build muscle even with less reps and sets. Number 2, less time in the gym, more time with him or her. Number 3, more challenging and effective reps in a shorter time. Think 3 quality sets versus 10 half-assed ones. For beginners, once you're absolutely confident with each exercise, when you're ready, aim to push to or near your limits while keeping good form. Keep in mind less sets makes it even more important that you push to failure. In other words, to see significant results, you need to push until you have 1 or so left in the tank. So with all these benefits, there must be a downside, right? Of course. Again, no matter how much time you spend working out, you could still look like you never started. Which leads me to the exact workout program, building me a more aesthetic body, training just 2 to 3 days a week, under 30 minutes a day, small flex. The best part is, you can tweak this to fit your lifestyle like a glove. But chances are, when you see this, the program has probably gone through more changes than every New York Times article combined. So without trying to fluff up my program and make it seem like it's nothing you've ever seen, here it is on screen. But don't be fooled. Most guys fail to build muscle, not because they don't know what to do, or because life gets busy, but because they start at the end. Instead, they need to do the opposite. There's a famous saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So instead of giving you a fish, I'm going to share with you a simple 3-step process to build your own program from scratch. Step 1, ask yourself these 2 questions. And if you're not usually honest, now's the time. First, how many days a week can you comfortably work out without fail? Next, how long do you want to spend working out each day? Your answers should reflect the lifestyle you want to live. One that allows you to work out while having the time and energy for the things and people that matter in your life. And if it doesn't, go ahead and change your answers now. There's no right or wrong answer, and they can change over time. So let's say you want 3 days a week, 30 minutes a day. What exercises should you do? How many sets and reps? One thing to keep in mind is that it matters what exercises you choose. Like if you were to choose one exercise for biceps, you're probably better off with barbell curls over dumbbells, because it's far easier to progress from 25 to 27.5 kilos on the barbell versus 13 to 14 kilos on the dumbbell. And this applies to most muscle groups, with the exceptions of machines. Step 2, pick exercises you can more easily progress over time while keeping good form. Which leads me to step 3, reps and sets. Try starting with 3 sets and around 8 to 10 reps. And as you get more comfortable and confident, start working your way along the entire spectrum, say from 4 to 12 reps. Keeping in mind, more sets equals longer workouts, but also more sets doesn't guarantee more gains. If there's one thing you take away from this video, it's this: to massively reduce your time in the gym while maximizing gains. Replace the last set of each exercise with Myor Reps. This will mean one less rest period for each exercise, saving you up to 60 minutes each workout without sacrificing on results. And if you're still unsure about how to properly set up your workout program, tell me what you're struggling with and if I should make a video on this next. Why are there millions more views on workout videos than diet videos? Because not only is training important when it comes to carving out the Greek god within you, but what you eat is just as important, if not more. And important doesn't always mean hard. In fact, diet was once super confusing until I realized that there are 3 things we should all avoid. Well, most of us. Counting calories, tracking macros, and protein. I'm just kidding. But not really. Because I often get asked, how? How do you build muscle and stay super lean all year round without tracking anything? 2 parts. The first is how much protein you need to eat in order to look slightly better than malnourished. Without making any bold claims, this is what I do. Eat at least the minimum amount of protein for general health, and that's 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. For example, if you weigh 70 kilos, you need at least 56 grams of protein per day. Here's 2 really simple methods to hit your protein for the day. Number 1, weigh and measure everything you eat. A little extreme, but the other non-extreme way is to aim for about 1/3 of each meal as protein, the other 2/3 being vegetables and carbs, adjusting this to your needs, wants, and desires. Using this rule, you'll most likely hit your minimum protein for the day, without weighing or tracking anything. It's stress-free. But the best part is, you can apply this rule almost anywhere, whether eating out with your friends or your mum's cooking, or even when meal prepping. The more you apply this rule, the more mindful you become of what you put into your body. Don't buy the quick fix, buy the slow, long-lasting solution. And that's one of the biggest keys to looking aesthetic and feeling amazing year after year. Hang on, I know it can be scary and confusing, even if you've been in the gym for 3 to 5 years. Questions like, what should I eat? How much to eat? And what to cut out? And it can really f with your mind, which leads me to part 2. So for what to eat, this is what I tell my 20-year-old self, starting with don'ts. These are things you should either limit or completely cut out if possible. Alcohol, highly processed foods with added sugars, and even staying up past your normal bedtime. For do's, these are things you should either maximize or eat more of where possible. Whole foods such as fruit and veg, leafy greens, lentils, legumes, and beans. Perhaps a little overwhelming, but a simple approach would be to pick one thing from this list and make small improvements over time. And then when you're ready, move on to the next. How much to eat? And this doesn't always go according to plan. Method 1 is to count your calories, but tracking everything you eat ain't for everyone, including myself. So a general rule is to stop eating when you're about 80 to 90% full. Another layer of security after each meal would be to try setting a 30 to 60 minute timer and then deciding if you're still hungry. You will fail at the start, and with practice, you'll eventually develop a strong mindset with food, benefiting you both in and outside of the gym. And if that doesn't work, and you find yourself repeating the same old habits, there are a handful of other hidden factors, which I'll cover in a future video. In an ideal world, this all makes complete sense to you, and in the next 12 months, you become seriously jacked and shredded. That could be true for some of you, but chances are you have burning questions you want answered ASAP. This is my offer to you. First, if you're just starting out and you need some guidance, then definitely hit me up on IG at AnthonyMinimal. Second, if you've been in the gym for some time, you've hit a brick wall and you feel lost, and your goal is to build a more aesthetic body without spending hours in the gym. Perhaps you'll find a ton of value from being around other like-minded guys on the same journey with similar values. If that sounds like you, I've created a brand new Discord community called the Part-Time Bodybuilders, and it's not for anyone and everyone, and this is something I wish I had when first starting out. But this is what it's not. It's not a place to find motivation, because motivation comes from taking action. So to qualify, you already need to be taking action and be relatively consistent, and you want to take your results to the next level while cutting down your workouts. Because together, we can not only create change within ourselves, but also in those around us. Pair that with me by your side with over 10 years experience in the gym, giving you further guidance. Kind of like course correcting you so you don't end up like 99% of guys. It's completely free, but spots are limited.